What's going on, everybody? And welcome to episode 27 of the Unplayable Podcast. That's right. We're back
Resurrected.
after 2 years or something.
I think the last one was
Long
about
time.
2 years ago. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. If here's the reality. I'm D House. We got Jay. We got Mike. We record every Monday with our members only club. And we usually do the conversation lab around Star Wars Unlimited. And we decide we're just going to swerve for a week. Sometimes it's just healthy to take a mental break. And we're going to do just a generic Unplayable podcast about all the games that we're playing and the things that we're excited about. So
yeah,
buckle up.
We do have some Star Wars Unlimited stuff to talk about, which we're gonna
yeah.
probably get out of the way first before we dive into the other stuff. But yeah, actually, how many episodes of the Conversation Lab do we have?
We've got 55.
So it's almost double what our Unplayable podcast has gotten to, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
We've come a long way since those days.
That's a lot of hours talking to you guys.
It is.
I'm sorry.
Very unfortunate.
I can't get those hours back at this point.
I mean, realistically, it's just one podcast. It's just one. Sometimes we talk about Star Wars Unlimited this whole time. Sometimes we're going to do this. And that's the whole point of this podcast since we began it. So
yeah, the whole channel was about the games that we enjoy playing.
Yeah, you didn't even say our tagline.
Most of the time, that's Star Wars Unlimited, but today it's gonna be some other stuff too.
Your favorite show about our favorite games.
Exactly.
Plural.
There it is.
Exactly.
Plural.
Yeah. So
we're getting a little roasted in chat right now, but it's fine. That's what we love. That's our vibe.
Someone said, "Yeah, play some Bazaar," and all of a sudden, Sue is the trash. Is in the trash. Just a little bit. I may or may not have had to force myself to close the Bazaar at the starting of this podcast because I was definitely going to try to multitask, and I'm not going to do that to you fine folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to start off with some Sue stuff real fast. And hopefully the people that do listen to Energy Conversation Lab listen to this as well, because I'm going to be bragging a little bit about some of our team members in our casually competitive Unplayable team. So we have one of our team members, Deowag, I think is how you say it. It might be Deowag, but I say Deowag in my head. He took 8th at a 60-player PQ in London with Iden Red.
That's sick.
8th place. Actual legend for that. And then Drayden went 5-2 with Han for Tarkentown from Worlds. That got top 8.
Oh,
and
nice.
He got 10th place out of 67. Which is pretty solid. And then we have a lot of team members that have PQs over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we're going to be keeping an eye out for that.
Looks like there was also someone who got 5th place in a 110-person PQ with Boba Data Vault. So it's pretty sick.
That's insane.
Dorminus.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
shout
Dorminus. He actually did a quick little recap of his PQ last night for the people that were from the team that were able to join into our team session.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he killed it on Boba Data Vault. What a legend for that. 5th place, that's crazy. Yeah, so those are all the folks in our team that performed well over the weekend. And then
in the chat, Maverick took 5th place out of 23 in a store showdown. So that's pretty sick too.
Hey, congratulations, Maverick. You're a legend. That's kind of it.
What about me? I won a 14-player draft.
Nobody
on
cares.
Thursday night.
All right, next.
You're not even a part of the team, Coach. What are you talking about?
What? You lie. I'm in there. I chat.
The team is all about not being gatekeepy, except for when it comes to
David.
Yeah, if anybody wants to watch our last Twin Sons live stream, you'll see how.
I was actually about to bring that up. So
Yep.
if you guys missed it, you should definitely go watch our last Twin Sons live stream.
Yeah, it was the 3 of us plus Brian from Golden Dice, and it was probably the most glorious game of Twin Sons I've ever experienced.
Glorious is not the adjective I was considering.
Triggering.
About it.
Outside of the team sessions that I've gone to, I haven't had too much exposure to Star Wars Unlimited. Except I listened to a podcast this morning, and some people are saying that, like, number one, the PQ attendance is really high, so I don't know if this is true or not, but it feels like the gas kind of, like, went out after Worlds. Like, everyone was super hype after Worlds, and then it was, like, a week later, and it just kind of, like, died off. Like, all that hype just didn't transition into anything. I don't know how true that is, according to the PQ attendance, but it feels that way a little bit for me, so I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I think that's why we're doing this
Yeah,
version.
yeah. I feel like
right?
there's a certain amount of like hype and excitement that you build up before a giant event like that, and then you sort of like blow off all that energy, and then it feels like you need some time to like I don't
Yeah.
know, I don't know, like get excited again, sort of like build up that hype over time.
Yeah.
I feel like
So-
once they start doing more set 6 spoilers, like and spoiler season starts for that, we'll get a bit more excited.
Yeah.
I actually learned this weekend that your body is biologically and physically unable to keep like an emotional high, like a euphoria about anything for an extended amount of time. Like your body actually shuts down and says, "Stop it." And I can't sustain this.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, even just that there's a physiological reason why we can't just go like, yeah, hype all the time, go, everything is great. Let's, where you actually have to pause it. Okay, hold on.
I mean,
just need a mental break.
That's really interesting. Like from a marketing perspective, even like taking that into account for people, like giving people times to take breaks to like energize and get excited again.
Yeah.
So that's super interesting.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
play some Twin Suns this weekend though.
What'd you play?
I played two Twin Suns games. The very first one I played with my unitless Twin Suns deck, which is
Oh, here we go.
Darth Vader,
Degenerate
Dr. Aphra,
nonsense.
and I crushed.
That's because you weren't playing with us.
It was
Yeah,
a
we would
weird.
never let
Well,
that
yes,
happen.
that is true. So I was playing with my buddy Jacob, and then another like newer player. And my friend Jacob was playing. He was playing Obi-Wan. No, not Obi-Wan. He was playing Luke. Showcase Luke, obviously. And what was his other? It was and Quinlan. So doing ground 4 stuff. And the other player was playing set 4 Luke and Wedge, so he was all space. So it was like all ground over here, all space over here, and I was playing no units. And I had a bunch of cards that were like caught in the crossfire or like given to your anger that like I wanted to use against them, so that to pit their units against each other, and then nothing ever lined up because they were never in the same arena. So, eventually won the game off of a bounty posting to grab a guild target. I put the guild target on the pilot Luke player's Y-Wing, and then I was able to deal 3 damage to it to kill it and deal 2 damage to his base. And then I also had On the Doorstep in my hand and a Daring Raid, and he only had 2 health left. So I was able to kill him with the Daring Raid, and then On the Doorstep and deal 3 damage with the droids to
So you create
Jacob's
3
base.
battle droids.
So so I got to kill I got to kill one of them and then have enough health to take out the other one, or to get above the threshold or whatever. So I ended up winning that game. It was very exciting.
That's insane.
Nice.
And I did get to drop the sick looking super laser blast as well. So I was
That's
excited
awesome.
about that.
Deck, man.
You mentioned Luke Showcase. I really wish there was a rule in Twin Suns where I can run a villain with the hero, so I can run
you
like
do
the
Luke
Luke
and Vader,
Vader Showcase, and then you just like choose one of the 2 aspects that can be in your deck, like a hero or a villain, so that you can't like take
So
advantage.
you could never use
That'd be
Vader's
interesting.
ability.
Then
or
you would
Luke's
just have to
ability.
pick. You just have to pick.
pick a lane.
Yeah.
Who's
You
lame?
just want to use the showcases.
I just
together.
want the showcases. Yeah.
They could have
exactly.
I could imagine like a base, like like an aspectless base that was Twin Suns only. That
would be sick.
You can include both hero and villain, and it was just like a neutral base. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. I kind of want to make that.
I mean, that totally works, right?
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
That'd be really fun.
And it
'Cause
like
you're still down. Well, you could have 4, I think, right? Because you have hero, villain, and then like
yeah,
whatever. So it'd be
exactly.
same.
and you can just run it could be like 25 to 30 HP.
Yeah.
And whereas like Lake Country is like 34. You're not gaining anything from doing it.
Yep.
So
That'd be super fun.
one day they'll make Twin Suns specific stuff, and we'll be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think it'll happen. I think it's inevitable. It's just a question of when.
There's a question in the chat by Egui. I'm so sorry. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. But have we played any Trilogy? I haven't yet. Have you guys?
I brought the decks to do it at Worlds
Same.
and just never got around to doing it.
Yeah, same. I still have the decks built. I just haven't actually
Me
sat
too.
down and played it. Like I would like to. Maybe on our next live stream we'll do some Trilogy.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think that'll be fun.
Let me build Django, Boba, and Han Yellow, and we'll be ready to go.
And that is exactly why I haven't touched Trilogy.
I've got Ventress, and Boba Yellow, so that people ban Boba Yellow so I can play both the Ventress decks.
Yeah. That was a story from Galactic.
Yeah.
Right? Like what didn't Parker from Swoody be like? He just
he sat down
and
across
they
from
had
that
combination.
lineup, and he was just like, nah, I'm not playing.
Yeah.
You just got up and
like,
left.
You got it. Yeah. I don't. That would just. I'd be done.
Yep.
If I wish there was a more aggressive suspension list for Trilogy, because then I'd be interested. But
yeah,
nah.
Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. I mean, it feels like they're not really doing anything to support that format at the moment. So there's not really a huge reason
they
to
haven't mentioned much.
Do anything like a suspension list for it.
Sure.
But it seems
all right.
Well,
I think that's enough Swoo. So all those who are here just for Swoo, get on out. You can leave.
Or
end
not.
the podcast.
Play the games we like. Yeah.
Scroll up on your phone.
Well, we should talk about the game that we all have been enjoying, which is Marvel Champions, before David checks out mentally.
Yeah, and then I'm going to leave.
About the video games that we've been playing.
Yeah, totally.
Heck yeah.
All right,
so
Marvel Champions. Yeah,
Marvel Champions. We okay, I want to revisit. Marvel Champions came out in
2019?
2018?
Right?
Or 2019?
18 or 19.
Yeah.
Like
very somewhere around there. I'll look it up.
It might have been 2019. It was either late 2018 or early 2019.
Yeah. I mean, so it's been around for a minute. I mean, we're talking 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And it's for those who truly have no idea what we're talking about, it's a cooperative LCG. So you could play it solo, you could play it up to 4 players. And well, I guess there's an asterisk because they're releasing a box next month that you can play against. You can do PvP instead of PvE, but yeah. So it came out, and we were all kind of on the Marvel Champions train.
We were,
initially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We played it a lot. It came out in November of 2019.
Yeah, there you go.
Like right before 2020.
Yeah, I distinctly remember going to the event and I got like play mats and promos.
Yep.
And then COVID hit.
Okay.
So I distinctly
wasn't sure
that.
on the timeline there, but I definitely remember that initial launch event and how hyped that was.
Mm-hmm. I remember that because my daughter was born in November 2019. It was my second, and I remember being like, "Oh, this is going to be perfect because I'm not going to be able to leave the house for a few months." And because her just being born, and I remember getting the game and thinking, okay, it's gonna be great. We actually moved to this is so silly. We put an offer on a house when my wife was 39 weeks pregnant, and a house that needed some renovations as well. Like it was insane. So we got like our offer accepted, and a couple days later she went into labor.
Oh my god!
That
sounds
was
like
it was
absolute chaos.
We were insane, but it was like our dream house, dream neighborhood, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally like kind of get moved in February of 2020, and I'm thinking like, okay, we're gonna settle in, gonna play some Marvel Champions as well, and then the world shut down, and in many ways I was like, well, I can't go play with people, and I don't want to stare at a screen anymore because all my meetings are on Zoom right now. Like, there was a gift, and, like, I could just sit at a table and play a game by myself in the middle of a pandemic, and I remember that's how I got into Marvel Champions.
Yeah,
Nice.
I mean, I've played that game solo as much as, like, probably with other players. It runs really good.
I must be the minority in this game because I have never played solo and I have absolutely zero interest in playing solo.
That's fair.
I don't know if that's just like a personality thing or
Probably.
not, but like I would.
Yeah.
I'm so much more likely to like play a video game solo, like just like some kind, usually some roguelike, than a physical board game that I have to set up and take down and stuff like that. But like I'll play anytime any other person is down to play with me. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the difference there.
Yeah. Have you played any board game solo?
I have, but nothing super deep.
Yeah.
Like we did a review, or you did a review on the channel of
Gentle Rain.
Yeah, Gentle Rain. I played that
Yeah.
solo. My son actually really likes playing that game. I play that with
Nice.
him and kind of just like watch him put the tiles down. He gets excited when he finds like a match.
That's cool.
It's like the one game that like he can actually understand how to play because he's like almost 3. So it's super fun that he gets.
I just
to
shipped
do
both
that.
of those out to the people who won those 8 months ago.
Nice.
Yeah. So those
That's
are
awesome.
those are arriving to those lucky individuals.
I do really enjoy that game. It's a cool very simple game. But that's the only game I've really played solo.
You would probably play Marvel Champions solo if you downloaded the app that I'm using.
Probably. Well, I'd be more likely to for sure. I like the physical. Okay, I really like the physical, tactile like feel of a physical game, a board game, stuff like that. But my motivation to like set up and tear down on my own for something like that is at all-time lows. Like,
Yeah.
it's just I already hate sorting my cards and taking all that time to like organize all. I'm obviously gesturing off screen that you guys can't see, but I have like this giant like pile of Star Wars Limited cards that I haven't even put away yet. That like doing that more than I need to is not appealing to me. So
Yeah, that's fair.
It does require. I do feel like I've asked many questions to you guys, like how do you store this, and what I've always been like tinkering, like how do I make the storage of this so efficient that I can pull it out, play some games,
yeah.
put it back really easily. I think I've finally unlocked like my method
What's your
so that I can play a
what's
lot
your
of
method?
games.
What's your method?
It's
I'm
so
very
boring for
curious.
content.
No, I don't think it's boring.
it's-
I'm curious. I need to know.
I think I also found my preferred way to do it.
I can kind of like point to see, but basically I use some of the boxes to like, and I just print off dividers for the villain scenarios and the encounter sets. That's very important. You have to keep those organized. And then I found something on Amazon. I'm like pointing to it behind me.
I can sort of see it.
I can't really grab it, but it's under that box basically where it has like all the X-Men waves in there. So I've got sort of like all the waves before that, and I've got X-Men waves in a separate one. And then for the heroes, all the heroes are in dividers, so that I can bring those out. The aspects, like for building the decks, that's where I think I'm shifting to like a binder process. Because I need to see the cards. I feel like if they're just like in big stacks, like my only option is to net deck and then go search for all the cards.
Yeah,
and that's annoying.
That's usually what I do. Is like I'll in that and in Arkham Horror, like because that's another game that I've played a ton of. And that's I mean honestly, it's probably my favorite card game of all time is Arkham Horror. Like during COVID, that was the game that I played because my wife would play with me and we would sit and we'd take 3 hours to play through like an Arkham scenario, like every couple days, and it was awesome. But I will usually build my deck online through like whatever online deck builder exists, and then I'll go find the cards afterwards in my collection that I have like organized by like color and cost or whatever.
So I guess I'm starting to move in Marvel Champions to like how I think about Twin Suns, because sometimes I'll get pinged and say, hey, I heard you talk about this Twin Suns deck. Can you send me the link to your deck? And I'm like, I don't have links for Twin Suns. Because one, I look at those images and I'm like, this is too much. Like I'm like, but the way I build Twin Suns in Star Wars is I literally go through binders. I'm like, this could be fun to work together, and I just like start pulling cards out of binders. And
that's what I do in Star Wars too.
Together. So for me, it's like Marvel Champions. Like I want to be able to do that same thing. I'm like, okay, I feel like these things could kind of work together, and these. So I'm moving toward a binder method, for like a different binder for each aspect, and just pages that you can kind of like a binder clip that you can add more pages as more content comes out.
Oh, like the D-ring style.
Yeah.
Like Gotcha.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like, oh, then you just
You
I
run,
don't know.
you
Because
run
I
out of
want to
space.
keep
You gotta
things
find
together,
another binder.
allies together, keep things. So anyways, it's working, and I'm playing a lot of games right now.
Nice.
I just got actually at Galactic Championships. Mike pointed out that the Asmodee booth had the Age of Apocalypse box,
Yep.
and
we
it
each
was like
grabbed
out
one
of
of
print
those.
at the time. So I snagged one of those, and I just finished it this weekend.
Not too hype
And
on it.
not
You didn't like it that much.
It was the first campaign where I was like, I don't like the campaign elements
Hmm.
like at all. Like the individual scenarios were good. The campaign element
for people
was annoying.
with no context, can you explain the campaign element?
Yeah. Noah asked, what's the reason to keep mutant decks separate? It's simply just a space. Like I just don't have anything big enough to keep the keep the Avenger stuff. Like because it goes in these boxes behind me. Like one of those boxes fits like all the Avengers and Guardians wave, and then I'm just out of space. So that's why I got something else to do the mutant decks. So yeah, the campaign elements. So a typical box for this will have a campaign of 5 scenarios and it's building a story along the way. So you start in like the first scenario, and there are you can do all those scenarios on its own. You can just grab some friends and say, we're just going to play this tonight, whatever. Or you can play more into like the story of it. And typically depending on how well you do in the campaign or how terribly you do, certain things will happen where you'll get bad cards added if you do poorly. You'll get good cards added to your deck if you do well. If you ignore the campaign element, sometimes things will come back to haunt you. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but there's like story elements that will build on itself. So your deck could get more powerful over the course of the campaign if you want it to.
But in Age of Apocalypse, is that still true?
Yeah. So yeah, it is for the most part, but the way they set it up is not very interesting, in my opinion. They like the whole idea is that like Apocalypse is taking over the world, and since it's like a global thing, he's sending some of his like minions around the world to do evil things, and so you have to send allies like to the other part of the world to like fight the villains and stop those schemes while you're fighting Apocalypse.
Okay, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, and so but it's really it's very chancy, it's very random. Like you basically flip up the top card of your deck, and if it matches aspects, you can remove threat. It's sort of like you just lose some of your deck to this random side scheme, and it plays differently. And you only have like 4 chances to do it, and if you miss it, then it's over. Like it's just I don't know. There doesn't it just feels annoying. Like, why do I have to worry about this? Somebody else worry about that. I just need to focus on what's happening. But that could just be my own personal preference too.
Yeah, I played that with my brother. I played most of the Marvel Champions stuff with my brother when he's in town. But I remember thinking that it was fun, but obviously it wasn't solo, so maybe that was a difference. And then I'm trying to remember what heroes we played. Is that the box with Magic and Bishop?
Yes.
Okay, we probably played Magic and Bishop. So I don't know if that made any kind of difference. I assume that like the heroes that come in the box are like uniquely sort of meant to play against the scenario that you're up against. So I don't know.
But they also punish those heroes too. Like
yeah,
specifically.
I remember there being some stuff with like the top of the deck kind of weirdness. I don't know. I guess if you're discarding the top of your deck, like what Magic's ability is, you get to play with the top card of your deck revealed, so you know.
Okay, true. Yeah. Honestly, Magic. Yeah, that's a great point. Magic is uniquely she'd be way better in that scenario than I was running Colossus, and then eventually, I switched to Angel because I was getting kind of bored of playing Colossus over and over. So and I wanted to try this Angel.
Nice.
Justice
I
deck.
haven't played Angel yet. He seems pretty cool.
I haven't played any of the double
the flip
fold
ones.
characters.
Yeah.
Ant-Man
and Wasp have been out for forever. Yeah, I've never played them either.
Dude,
I've owned them for like
6
years and never played them.
Wasp is fine, but Ant-Man is so fun.
Yeah,
like truly so fun. So you guys, and it adds just like this layer of choice. You should definitely try it.
Do you have the Loki one that just came out?
It came out this weekend, and I
have you
played it last night. Well, I played It's
You play
two
the
scenarios. I
Enchantress
played
one?
the Enchantress one. I didn't have
One
time
of those
for
is like
The Loki
an
one, it's the
epic one, right?
multiplayer one, yeah.
Could we stream that and like each play our own game of it?
Solo.
Like,
You could.
is that something that would make sense? It'd be fun to do.
Yes, it would.
I haven't looked into what the mechanics are at all, so I'm literally.
I'd
coming
have to
from
look
zero
at it,
knowledge.
and because that sounds like
I don't know how we
Okay.
would stream all three of our
yeah,
boards.
that like
Yeah.
4 different games, but it could be interesting. Yeah, it is weird because it is like it's in pods,
Mhm.
so things scale for like how many pods you have, and like big bad ugly mangogs come out, and you can as like a group of pods, you can all like contribute to killing the thing.
Like, I don't know if we could figure that out. That could be a fun way to do like streamed Marble Champions. Because otherwise, like, there's so many cards that you kind of pass between players. It'd be really hard to do remotely.
Yeah.
Just make sure whoever Dave is playing dies before the end, and then we win.
All the heroes advance except for me. So yeah, could somebody block for this? Nah.
Sorry.
It does sound really cool though. I was thinking about doing like having 6 people and then having 3 2-player pods going at the same time for it. But I imagine
fun.
3 solos would work just as fine. I mean,
Well-
there are people that play solo, so
We'll have to look into it because
Yeah.
it
And,
could
like,
be a fun, relatively
each
easy
person
way.
is playing a different version of Loki because there's different versions of Loki, and then
That's
they can
cool.
like swap around and stuff like that. It's weird.
Cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, so that's the new pack, and then the Civil War box comes out next month. So there's a bunch.
That's
of new
next
content.
month. That's crazy. It feels like the Shield one like just came out.
Yeah, but it came out a long time ago.
That was a couple months ago, I think, right?
If I have one regret, it's that I
That's
didn't just keep buying like the monthly releases when I was distracted by.
I'm
other
really
games.
glad that I'm caught up, with the exception of Loki.
There's like maybe between 5 and 10 heroes that I'm missing, but I think I have everything else.
Also, I know Tigra and Hulkling do not sound interesting at all, but based on what has been revealed on them, their decks are super cool.
Okay, I looked at the articles when they came out because I also like I do not care at all about those heroes. And when I was reading through the Tiger cards, I was like, damn, I really want to play this.
Yes. Their decks seem super
It's
cool.
like, they're gonna make me play this hero that I do not care about whatsoever. I looked at the Hulkling one and I didn't think that one was quite as interesting, but the Tiger one is completely up my alley.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
Any hero deck that brings out more minions is always super fun. Unless you're playing one of those scenarios where there's like 1 minion in the deck, and then you're like,
and then you're like, shoot, my entire strategy is ruined. But yeah, Thor's one of my favorite heroes to play.
Yeah.
So yeah, that definitely resonates.
What hero that is your favorite to play?
that I've played so far.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that you've played
that's
so
a
far.
tough one.
I think Spider-Gwen was my favorite to play.
Oh yeah, Ghost Spider.
Yeah, Ghost Spider. Like, it just felt so powerful to be able to like ready like a billion times in a turn, and kind of just felt like I could do whatever I wanted. The playstyle was really fun. I played through that with my brother who played Miles Morales. We played through the Sinister Six scenario or whatever, the campaign.
Yeah.
And she felt really strong.
Okay. What about you, Jay?
I don't even know, man. I've played
There's so many fun ones.
back in the day. I really liked Miss Marvel, and I haven't played her in a while, but she was definitely one of my favorites. And they have these like back then when I played it, they didn't have combo aggression cards like they do now. Now they have like firepower and stuff like that, which are like super powerful, and she lets you get those and like use them every turn. So I kind of want to build a deck around that. But yeah, Bishop and Magneto were both super fun recently as well. I'd maybe go with Magneto.
Is
as
Bishop
one of
the one that cares about
resource
resources?
cards? Yeah,
Resource,
he's
Nice.
super fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like
That's
the player side scheme stuff a lot too. So I like
Cable.
Cable. I also really like playing Black Widow. That'd probably be my number 2.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I liked Black
Yeah.
Widow until I played it in the
Collector.
against the Collector in the Most Wanted scenario.
I knew
Uh,
exactly where you're going.
Yeah, and I was like,
yeah, that's-
this invalidates literally my entire deck.
Yep.
yeah. That is like sometimes there are times where I'm like, you can't just have like a pet deck and be like, okay, I'm just gonna play this against everything because
Yeah.
there are some scenarios where
It's just the hard counter.
you're like, this is stupid. Like playing Thor against a like Thanos doesn't have a ton of minions. It's just there are some, but it's sort of like versus like Ultron where you're getting minions
every
the whole
5
time.
seconds.
Yeah. Actually, Magneto's one of my newer favorites. I think originally I played a ton of Black Panther, like the first Black Panther. When the game first came out, every time I'd be trying Black Panther in all different aspects and doing lots of things. That was a really fun one.
Nice.
Yeah.
I used to not like the game as much as I like it these days. I feel like the expanded card pool has made it a lot more interesting, and the new heroes are a lot more interesting than the old heroes. But like I still have some issues with it. Like there's still some things that I think I don't like about the game. Like oftentimes it feels like the victories are a little bit anticlimactic because you can see them coming from so far away. And then like there's also other times where like it feels maybe a little bit just too mathy where you're like, okay, I just got to do the most efficient thing possible every turn, just find out what's going to give me the most amount of points for the least amount of resources. But I think in general, like the scenarios, the heroes, like they've sort of learned how to design the game a little bit better than when the game first came out, and kind of obscure that stuff a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. I think the system is really good for like. I feel like I can not play this game for a year and a half and come back and be able to just like pick it up, plug it in, and play.
Totally.
Which is kind of nice. And a lot of like the structure is super simple. A lot of the complexity of scenarios comes from the different abilities on the villain and the like schemes and main scheme and all of that kind of stuff. Which is kind of nice.
Charlie's asking, as a noob, where would be a good place to start? Do you need to buy the core set? Like, does that come with stuff that you need?
It
comes
has
with all the tokens and stuff.
The tokens also has the standard and expert.
The campaign sets that you need or whatever the encounter sets.
Because standard 3 comes in Age of Apocalypse, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh no.
Standard 2 is
Mutant
in the hood.
Genesis.
Which we
Standard 3?
No, 2.
Standard 3.
Is it?
Two is in
the hood, and we very quickly we realized we hated it.
Standard 2. Standard 2 is a terrible idea.
But
Standard 3 I think comes in Age of Apocalypse because I didn't have it, and then I just recently got it. I think from opening that.
My suggestion would be buy one core set either cheap from your LGS or a used copy for cheap, and then buy whatever hero you're most excited about, whether that's in a different campaign box or not, because I think that's going to give you the most fun experiences. Like, you need the core set cards because they're required for the scenarios, and it comes with some villains that you can play against, like Rhino, Claw, Ultron, and they're good villains to sort of get your feet wet with. And then when it comes to which hero you play, just pick whatever you want. Like some of them are obviously more complicated than others, but I feel like if you're interested in the character, you'll enjoy it more, even if it's a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
And
I do
the
think
core set ones are kind of boring in my opinion. So
yeah, I do think you could, if you didn't want to buy the core set, you could buy Age of Apocalypse, and
you can't because it's sold out everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
No, they did. It's
is it restocked?
Yeah, you can buy it now.
Okay. Well,
I'm
less excited about getting it.
My Galactics story isn't as cool, but I have been playing it a lot, so I'm still happy.
You could, I think you could buy that and then just buy like actual like third-party tokens and then just play. I would assume.
Yeah. Chaotic Nerd in the chat is asking if we need one core set or multiples. I'm pretty sure it's one.
Just one.
Just one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like the
They learned
FFG
from
LCGs
that.
of old.
Yeah, they learned from that. And also, the other great thing about Marvel Champions that we should highlight is that when you buy a hero pack, like, it comes as a pre-con.
Right.
Yep.
Like, you can literally just
Yeah.
open
Take it out of the box and play.
And then it comes with that, and it usually comes with, like, some other aspect cards to add to your collection, and then a lot of times a modular set, which we should talk about modular sets too. But that is like, so if you had a core set and you went and you said, I really love Winter Soldier, so I'm gonna get the Winter Soldier pack and have the core set, you could just open Winter Soldier and start playing.
Yep.
Winter Soldier's great.
Which is really cool.
And some of the precons are like super good. Like Magneto, I feel like you can play that deck on expert and do pretty good. Like just because of how strong it is. It's also leadership, but there's that.
I've always wanted to play the game as like a boss battler where you don't necessarily play through campaigns, but you like go through and you try and play against each villain at like an escalating difficulty and like have to really think about how you build your deck to like counter that specific villain and play on like super hard difficulty levels.
So you start with Rhino at standard, and then you move to expert, and then you move to
like heroic or whatever.
Heroic, and then you move to.
I mean, it's a
standard
huge undertaking, which is why I haven't done it. And I feel like you need like a group of people who are like really down to like figure it out. But it sounds like a fun way to play the game.
I do think, because you were talking about the anticlimactic wins and the mathing, and that stuff doesn't bother me because I view it more like a very complicated jigsaw puzzle where, like, towards the end of a jigsaw puzzle, it's like, okay, we're putting the things. But there's a satisfying, like, okay, like there are some moments where, okay, do I advance the villain to the next stage, or do I stay because I'm not ready to go to the next stage and he's gonna slap me in the face if I do. Like, can I safely flip down to alter ego to heal, or is the threat, like, there's all these micro decisions that feel really satisfying when you get to a place where you're like, dang, I did it. I figured it out. I found my path through, and we got there. And like sometimes I get a win with like 1 health left on the leader. Like this just happened a couple nights ago. I think I played Dark Beast with Angel, and I survived with 1 health, and like I won. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was so close. But it was really satisfying too.
Nice.
So I think one of the coolest parts about Marvel Champions is the modular sets. So in Marvel Champions, you pick a villain. So you could say, hey, I'm going to fight Magneto as a villain, and it comes with you put in a standard modular set. There's standard 1, 2, and 3. You choose one of those. But then it says you can add these modular sets. So it comes with like a recommendation of, hey, this would work really well with this particular deck if you just want the very basic experience. Or you can add any modular set or 2 to this thing just to add something crazy. So if you have this weird dream of wanting the, I don't know, if you want Rhino, and I think it's called City and Chaos, I think is the modular set. If you want Rhino to team up with Magneto, you can put Rhino's modular set in the villain deck, and Rhino might pop up and help Magneto fight you. Which is one of the coolest parts of this whole thing, is that because I care deeply about replayability. If I feel like I've done the thing, like I don't want to do it a second time. So
how often
the fact
do you
that I could
do that?
Like mix modular sets in?
Yeah.
Well, recently I've just been trying to work my way through all the campaigns. So I always want to do, in like the Loki pack, I just did the
you want to do the recommended one at least once
first.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been playing intermittently in something called the Solo Champions League. It's a group that got together and said, hey, let's come up with a way to score and have people like compete, quote unquote. It's not really competitive, but like you try and finish with better scores and talk about your decks. And the what I love is in the Solo Champions League, there's 5 rounds, and it's in its last season, so I can't recommend people jumping in right now. But the commissioner will like say, okay, you're gonna do this villain with these modular sets and these things happening, and so it forces you to like combine things that you never would have done before.
That's cool.
So I do that for the Champions League, and I have been doing that, and I really like that. It adds a fun, different expression of it for sure.
Is there somewhere that like scores the difficulty of each modular set?
I don't think
I mean, there
so.
might be somebody that does, but
Not that you
like,
guys know about.
not that I know about now.
Okay.
It's interesting that you bring this up because, for one, I'm playing through the campaign, so I never actually use the modular sets until maybe after I finish all of the campaigns. We'll do that, which we're pretty close. We just finished Mad Titan recently. But I store all of the modular sets for a specific campaign with that campaign. So like for Mad Titan Shadows, all of the like Children of Thanos and all of the modular sets that are in that, I keep with that campaign. So there'll never be a random modular set that comes in for another
Mm.
scenario. But
Okay.
it's just
Yeah.
like ease of storing for
Yeah.
playing campaigns.
Yeah. And I think that's completely reasonable if that's the way you like playing the game. I think that's solid.
I do want to use some of the extra modular sets, and I think it works out fine because like the ones that are stored separately that aren't part of a campaign are the ones I haven't played against before. So whenever I do use random ones, I'll draw from those. But yeah, I think it is a cool aspect of the game, especially with like the hood scenario where you just grab a bunch of random ones and use them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's fun because that one is all about random modular sets. Like the hood scenario comes with like 9 of them or something like that. But when I brought them to the Galactic Championships, I didn't want to sleeve all of them, so I just grabbed random ones from my collection that I'd already had sleeved, and it was it was a fun way to do it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah.
There are ways online. I've messed with them a little bit, especially during the pandemic, where like randomized
Mm-hmm.
villain and modular, like it would just like you just say, hey, I want
Mm-hmm.
I want this. I want 2 modular sets. I want a random villain. I want random difficulty, and there's stuff online that could do that for you, so you could truly have like a randomizer just decide what you're playing that week.
Yeah.
Like people have been creative. This game's been out long enough that people have figured out ways to like I don't know keep things
Keep things fresh.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good times. We actually just played through. It took us way longer to play through Mad Titan than it took us to play through Mutant Genesis, but we were playing Mad Titan
Yeah.
on Expert,
Mm.
and I probably will not do another campaign on Expert anytime soon because it was just so brutal. Sometimes the scenarios are so difficult that playing on an Expert is just like such an impossible task.
Weren't you saying that there's a difference between like playing the campaign on Expert and playing
There
Expert
is,
scenarios or something?
yes, they are two separate things that exist.
But they're both called Expert for some reason.
Yes, and I hate that. Like, why do that? It's so confusing.
So
But
if
yeah,
playing the
if
campaign Expert is just maintaining your health through each, is
it's
that what it
maintaining
is?
your health and then doing anything the campaign that toggles expert
Okay,
only campaign.
got it.
Which there's a lot. There's a
Mhm.
lot of stuff that's like
Yeah.
expert campaign only.
So
Do
did you
this.
play the campaign on Expert, but you were playing with the standard scenario?
No, we started the campaign on expert campaign with
The
expert
Expert
being played.
modular set in the
Expert
thing.
squared.
Yep.
Nice.
And
So it's
you
double
start on 2.
expert.
Yeah, you do the villain phase 2 and 3 instead of 1 and 2, and then all the other, like if you're playing with standard set 2, you play on the flip side. So not only does the villain have steady, but everything has steady. So yeah, it's like way more difficult. We got through the first 2 scenarios surprisingly, but once we got to Thanos and then we had to do Hela and then Loki, we beat Thanos after like 3 or 4 tries. We couldn't beat Hela. We were like, we're going down to standard. Screw this.
Dang. I
Yeah.
haven't played through that campaign yet.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
That one's a fun
I
one.
have it. I just haven't played it. When my brother, well, I guess I don't know because I haven't played that. I think that and the Shield one are the only 2 that I haven't played through. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to pick which one we play.
I need to buy the shield box. I don't have that.
I haven't
It's
opened
the
it yet.
last
but
box.
yeah.
I haven't gotten. Yeah.
Shield box is cool. I like that one. We played that one as our first scenario, getting back in our first campaign, getting back in the game. I mentioned it a little bit.
I remember
it's
you
like,
talking about it. Yeah.
It seems
yeah,
cool.
there's like this clue deduction style thing to
Yeah,
try
it
to figure
sounds
out
super
who on the
fun.
board is the traitor and all that stuff. It's kind of like it doesn't really matter because by the end, as long as you did everything, you're gonna 100% know who the traitor is type thing. But it is interesting. I think it's cool.
Noah's asking if we enjoy the deck building aspect of the game.
I actually do. I used to
do,
not.
yeah.
I used to hate it. I was like, I'll just net deck this game for the rest of my life and play those.
Yeah.
But now that the card pool is a lot larger,
Yeah.
and for a 5-6 year game, I feel like it could be larger than it is right now. It doesn't feel like there's that many cards, but there's enough that the deck building is a lot more interesting.
Well, the interesting thing is that like it feels a little bit siloed depending on the character that you pick because there are a lot of cards that are really only usable if you're an Avenger or an X-Men or
Right.
whatever. So that does make it feel a little bit smaller, but I do really enjoy the deck building. Like I love the fact that you can just pull the deck out of the box and play it as is, but I almost never do that. I like either finding one or two like really cool cards that I want to build the whole deck around, or even better is like my hero has some kind of cool unique thing about them that I then try to find a bunch of cards that like support that play style. And yeah, I do enjoy it. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I do think with more exposure to the game, the more interested you get into deck building because like you know way more of the cards and stuff, just like off the top of your head.
It can be a tough game to build a deck around without knowing some of the like I don't know, like
Archetypes.
Archetypes are just like things that you generally include in decks. Like how many allies you put in your deck, how many resource cards you put in your deck, like how many support things that generate resources for like the cost curve that you're including and stuff like that. Does your hero generate resources? How are you drawing cards? Like there's a lot of nuance in terms of like the actual like mechanics of deck building that is not obvious. So yeah, I feel like there's just like some like there's a word that I can't find, but like some known to like the broader community of people who play the game, like optimal amount of things for a deck in this game. It's like in Magic, you put 23 lands or whatever in your deck, or however many lands it is. It's like you don't know that unless you know it, and that's obviously easier than the various things that you can put in a Marvel Champions deck because it's a bunch of different things.
Yeah, if I played all the time, if I played like every day, I'd probably get more into the deck building. But for me, I think the satisfying thing is just to net deck and then figure out, okay, what I'm missing some packs from this net deck, so I'll just replace those cards and find something that I
which I think is totally valid too.
Yeah. I think it's just like I just want to get it down and I just want to start playing games like as quickly as I can.
I especially for a cooperative game like this, like there's no wrong way to do it. It's an experience for you and your friends, and if we have fun, you have fun, and that's kind of all that matters. That's the thing that I love about cooperative games. Like I end up playing a lot of competitive games because they're more popular and because it's often easier to just play a bunch of competitive stuff. But I deep down love a cooperative game more than anything. So
yeah, if I were to say the one thing that kind of like a negative about the game would be some scenarios feel like you have to build a deck for that scenario, especially when you're playing on expert. For example, like the Collector and Black Widow, like you're not you just can't play that hero against the Collector. So sometimes it feels a little weird when those kinds of scenarios come up, especially if you're playing through a campaign and you're playing Black Widow and you don't know that this is going to happen.
Yeah.
So that'd probably be the only negative of the game that I would put it out there.
Yeah, I wish that like the scenario either gave you a way out of it or I don't know, like compensated you if you're that player in some bigger way.
But in some ways, that could limit their ability to design interesting scenarios too.
Yeah,
if they were like, we have
That's
to make 60 different heroes be playable into this.
Yeah.
Like,
I appreciate that too. I just like it feels bad going into that not knowing what you're getting into and realizing that your deck is like being countered.
Yeah. I feel like they kind of fixed that particular thing with side schemes So like if you're playing Justice with a deck that has 0 side schemes in the deck or something along those lines, you now have player side schemes that you can put out there and feel useful. The same thing with Tigra. And there's other heroes. So like Winter Soldier wants to pull minions from the deck.
Thor.
When you're playing a deck that doesn't have, or playing a scenario that has like 1 or 2 minions in the deck, it feels so much worse, especially when you discard from the top to hit one, and then like you go through the whole deck and you have to put an acceleration token. Like that kind of stuff stinks. They haven't figured out a way to have like minions,
like token minions or something.
Player created minions, with the exception of like Face Off being able to bring your nemesis in and stuff like that. Or Fates to Pass, whatever it is. I think it's Fates to Pass.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
But maybe we'll get there one day.
Yeah, maybe.
It's fun.
All right, Marvel Champions.
That's it. Marvel Champions. We should, man. We could talk for
great
a
game.
lot longer about this game. It's a fun game. So obviously we love it. Let us know if you love it. If you're playing it, how do you play it? That again, that's we talked about different styles and different preferences for how we approach it, which is the beauty of a cooperative game.
I'm very interested to see what the competitive thing is.
Yeah. I'm
so
so uninterested in that. It's not even funny.
We talk about it like the whole time we've been talking about how it's a cooperative game. You can't go wrong, all this stuff, and now there's going to be a competitive scenario next month.
Yeah, I'm never playing that.
Yeah. I looked at it. I was like, it didn't look that interesting to me. I'll still buy it, and because I think the scenarios themselves, like thinking about the Civil War storyline, I think is really cool.
It's my least favorite comic storyline. And
really,
yeah, I'm probably also in the minority on that. But like, I would much rather fight against the bad guys than have the good guys fight against the good guys. And I don't know. Maybe there'll be really cool scenarios, and like, who cares? Like, it won't matter. But the actual competitive PvP version of this game is something I have zero interest in doing, and I will literally never do it.
That's something we could stream.
That's true.
There we go.
That's not wrong.
One more thing.
I guess never say never.
Before we move away from it, because we're only going to have like 15 minutes to talk about the Bazaar, which
we don't have any time. You guys can record a second one.
They're doing a rotation for this game.
Yeah.
What do you think about doing a rotation for a cooperative game?
I think it's fine. Like, I think for a cooperative game, it's like you don't have to pay. Like, you don't have to care. You know, like rotation just means they're putting things out of print, which like they kind of have to, just based on.
I don't think it
how
just
stores
means
work.
they're putting stuff out of print. I think that it means that they're going to be designing things without having to keep in mind
the whole card pool.
it breaking with something from before.
I feel like
and they're going to remake heroes. I bet, like they're going to come out with
for sure. They'll come out with a new Spider-Man, a new Captain America, a new Iron Man, whatever. Yeah, like I see it as a good thing. I like it because I think that like being forced to design around Doctor Strange, like probably is not very fun for the game designers, and probably doesn't like prevents them from doing certain things, or having to design around like She-Hulk and stuff like that. Like I think it's a good thing. But I also think like you don't have to care, and like maybe it's not optimized for the thing that you want to be playing. But like it's a cooperative game. There's no standardized like there may be a standardized format, but like you quite literally can do whatever you want. Nobody's standing over your shoulder calling a judge and saying that what you're doing is illegal. So, yeah.
There's no FFG police.
I think it matters less.
Show up at your house
in a cooperative game. I think it can only enhance the design in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, we got 14 minutes to talk about the Bazaar.
Yeah,
so
all right.
Tell people what the Bazaar
is, Mike.
This
segment is called Convince David that he should actually play this game because it's really fun.
Tell him what it is. Tell him what it is and the people.
So the Bazaar is a...
You listen up, David. Put your listening ears on.
You're not going to understand any of these words, unfortunately, but... It's a cooperative. No, it's not a cooperative, but it's a solo roguelike deck builder, inventory management, auto battle.
I don't think it's a deck builder at all. It's not a deck builder. People call it that. It's not
more
a
of an
deck
auto
builder.
Battler then, I guess.
You don't have a deck.
Yeah, you got a little team of items. You got a little storage thing. But no, you're right. It's not like a deck builder where you like shuffle through your cards. So you pick these items. You go through this. I don't know. I'll call it a run. You go through this run where you buy items or you get items through random encounters, basically, and then you fight against either AI bad guys or other players who've gone through their run. And you build an engine of stuff that does something, and you eventually, I don't know, like your items trigger off of your other items, and every so often they trigger and deal damage to your opponent, and you got to survive longer than they survive. I'm not doing this very well, but I don't know. Okay, what board game is this like, or what card game is this like that David would understand?
What? There's no board game that I would say this is like, with the exception of like. Nah,
Yeah,
no.
okay. Jeff is saying it's like Hearthstone Battlegrounds, but that doesn't
He
help
wouldn't
because
know it.
David's never played that.
He wouldn't know what that is.
I played some Hearthstone, but I never did Battlegrounds.
Okay, like if you are a person who has played digital card games, which I know that you are, it's not that much different. Like, I know that you don't like video games, but this is barely a video game.
Yeah,
It's
barely.
like it's essentially a card game or board game, but the things that you do and like the timing triggers of things would be so annoying to keep track of in person that it has to be a digital game.
Yep.
So imagine you have a row of cards in front of you and you had like a dial, and every turn the dial ticked down by one. And your items triggered, like they all had countdowns basically, and like you removed a counter every time it ticked down. And then some of them fired when they had no counters on them. Then you put all the counters back on. It's basically that is the game mechanic, but in real time. So it's like every 2 seconds, this katana deals 5 damage or whatever. But then you have an item next to it that says the item to the right deals 10 extra damage. So now instead of dealing 5 damage every 2 seconds, you're dealing 15 damage every 2 seconds. And then there's an item to the right of it that says the item to the left also does burn damage. So now every 2 seconds, you're doing 15 damage and burn damage instead of just 5 damage. And you build your inventory
Tableau.
of stuff. Yeah, like your tableau of stuff in a way where your cards synergize with each other and allow you to do more than the sum of their parts. I feel like you need to just like watch this game be played, and I think
Here's it.
I don't know. Maybe you're not even remotely interested, but like it's barely a video game. It is very fun.
But here's the core issue.
Let's hear it.
It might not be a video game, but it's still on a screen.
Yeah, but you play games on screens all the time.
I really don't. I really
We can't
don't.
talk about some of them.
I watch games on YouTube.
When you play webcam games of Star Wars Unlimited, those are generally on a screen.
I've played probably 3 webcam games in the last 6 months.
Yeah, but you have played
not
them.
6 months. There's no way.
That's also not accurate.
That's not true.
3 months. In the last 3 months.
Yeah, that's just because your enjoyment of SWU has decreased recently.
No, it's because I can't. I have to be really, really like, I want to play this game. I want to stare at a computer and play a game. It's why, again, we just talked about Marvel Champions. Why I love playing solo is I have physical cards on my kitchen table, and I am physically putting something down. I'm doing something like, I look at screens way too much in my life. I don't want a game on a screen. It's like Marvel Snap. Okay, like Marvel Snap came out. I was like, man, this is so cool. I like the IP. I like the idea. Short games, whatever. And I played it a ton for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's
and
exactly
then I was like,
what this
I'm
is.
tired of seeing. I'm tired of looking at a screen. I don't want to look at a screen.
That's fair.
And that's just yeah, what it came down to is like, I'm like, I have to care. What I've learned is if I'm gonna play a game, I have to somewhat care about the IP for it to keep my attention. So Star Wars, Marvel, that stuff, or the game has to be like, the mechanics have to be so interesting, like Keyforge. was a good example. Like the mechanics and the idea of the algorithmically generated decks was so interesting. That's what kept my attention. And so if I don't know anything, if I don't care about the IP and the mechanics aren't interesting, like I just know I'll play it once or twice and then
Yeah, that's
I'll move
fair.
on.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But for the rest of us,
It's awesome. I'm so hooked, dude.
good.
It's so addicting.
yeah,
And
it is.
and you know that it's good when it's a 50-minute run and you're still like jonesing to play it. Like I don't care if it takes
I
forever
know.
to play. Like it is really easy to pause or like exit the game, come back and continue a run. I mean, Balatro is the same way. Balatro takes a really long time to do runs, especially once you get past 10 and you play them unlimited. Like it can take forever to get through those runs, and it's the same situation where you can like walk away and come back to it,
Yeah.
which is really nice. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. What has been your favorite hero to play?
I've only played Vanessa.
You haven't tried Stella yet, or
I've
Steel.
only played Vanessa.
Steel.
I like playing one, like in these types of games. I like playing one deck or one hero or one character or whatever until I get bored of them, and then I move on. And I'm still not bored of Vanessa. I think like
Yeah.
her cards are super fun. Trying to build up a bunch of weapons or trying to build up a bunch of like poison damage or burn damage or whatever. Like I don't know. I like her mechanics a lot, so I'm like not jonesing to like move on to something else.
Mm-hmm.
But I did just get a cool skin in like a random crate for
Nice.
the robot one, so I'll probably try
Okay.
him. Yeah,
Dooley.
yeah.
I've only played Vanessa and Steel. Those are the
Okay.
only two that I've played. I don't know which one I like more. They're vastly different the way they play.
It feels like all of the different characters are super different from each other, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And that must be hard to balance too, because you're sort of like, like if you're playing ranked or whatever, like there's probably one that people generally think is best, and so that's probably going to be the one that's played the most.
Mm-hmm.
So that's got to be difficult to do when they're all different. But I guess it's kind of similar to something like, I don't know, League of Legends or something like that, where there's like characters that are obviously better than other ones that people play.
Yeah. It's interesting too how like each faction has its own set of cards, or each hero has its own set of cards that you play
Yeah,
and that you see throughout the run.
yeah.
But you can like get lucky and grab something from another
That totally
hero.
breaks your stuff.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's really cool.
It's really fun.
And then like sometimes you get to do these weird things like go on a journey through a jungle whatever temple, and then it's like if you make it to the treasure room you get all this freaking loot and then you get out. It's so interesting how it plays.
Yeah, when I play video games, 95+% of the time I'm playing a game like this where it's a roguelike with
Mm-hmm. Slay
random
the Spire,
choices.
Balatro, this.
Another one that I've been playing recently on my phone, I downloaded. So I asked in our Discord for some phone game recommendations because I occasionally will play like a game in bed before I fall asleep to sort of just like turn my brain off. And I downloaded Wild Frost, which is a game that I've played a bunch of times and have kind of like gotten into and gotten out of. I previously thought the difficulty curve was like absolutely insane, where you would like start a run, feel pretty good, and then just run up against an enemy that was just like, okay, I just got absolutely stomped and like there's nothing I could do. I feel like they've smoothed that out a little bit. So I've now I downloaded it last week and then I've been playing it on my phone. And there's like 3 different factions, which I don't remember if there were always 3 factions, but they're fun, they're cool, they play different from each other. I love that David's like not even
Just checked out.
And it's a lot better than I remember it being, and I definitely recommend that to anybody who's like looking for a new roguelike that hasn't tried it.
I'll give it a go.
It's fun.
It seems interesting. I haven't even like gotten that far. Like I've played Balatro a lot, but I feel like there's still so much I haven't
Yeah,
seen
Balatra's
with
awesome
that.
too. I was playing that for a while. I'll
Same
go
with
back to Slay the Spire
Spire.
every so often just because it's a masterpiece of a game.
What
The second one's coming out relatively soon.
Where would you rank this so far in your roguelike
The Bazaar?
card games? Yeah.
definitely top 10.
Top 10.
I've played a lot. I've played like dozens of roguelikes.
Monster Train
Yep.
2.
Yeah, Monster Train. I haven't played Monster Train 2.
I hear it's a lot better than the first one.
Okay, I'll try it. I mean, my Steam library is like littered with these. Another one that I really like is called Cobalt Core. That's another one of my favorites. But
you know what I miss?
the Bazaar's great. Let's hear it.
Snake.
Let's hear it. Oh,
Snake.
dude. Okay, hang on. I played, and I've been trying to find.
I have
this.
1 minute.
Okay, in your 1 minute, somebody find me this game. It was a snake roguelike where
I heard you talk about
each
this before.
pips of your snake, like each like segment, is a character, and they each have different abilities. And you have enemies that are coming in from all sides, like a bullet hell kind of game, like a Vampire Survivors type of game. And you're trying to snake around those enemies, but you're like you've got like a mage and a knight and a whatever and a one that summons demons and one that heals your guys. And so it was like at the end of every round you'd like be presented with like a choice between, okay, which one of these do I want to add or which one of these do I want to upgrade. And I have no idea what the game is called. I think it was on mobile and it was probably like 10 years ago, but I want to play it again.
Somebody help the man.
Somebody help me. And with that, I think Jay's time's up.
Yep.
All right. Well, this has been fun, guys. Thanks for tuning into the Unplayable Cast. Thanks to our members only in the chat. Check out unplayable.gg. See you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.